So for number 4, these facts here have been established at a crime scene. So being established means that these facts are true. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've transformed these statements here into with symbolic logic connectives. So the first one is if Plum is not guilty, so if not Plum, then the crime took place in the kitchen. The second is if the crime took place at midnight, so if midnight, then Plum did it. The third is Miss Scarlet is innocent, so not Scarlet, if and only if the weapon was not the candlestick, so not candlestick. For number 4, we have either it was done with a candlestick or the crime was committed in the library. And for number 5, we have that either Scarlet or Plum is guilty. So for item A, we have that we have all these facts, and then we have also that the crime took place in the library. So it was done in the library. So if it was done in the library, we're going to take the contrapositive of item 1. So we say by contrapositive of item 1, because item 1 is what has to do with the location, we say that if not kitchen, then not Plum, which means Plum. So we can see here that if not kitchen, then Plum, and not kitchen is true, right? And so if not kitchen is true, then it must mean that it was Plum who did it. Therefore, we can say that Plum is guilty. Okay, let's do B. So for B, we have that it did not take place in the library. So not library. Well, if it did not take place in the library, and if number 4 here is true, so we say by item 4, if it did not take place in the library, so if the library is false, it must mean that the candlestick is true, right? Because if it weren't, then statement 4 would not be true. So by 4, we can say that the weapon is the candlestick. Okay. And if the weapon is a candlestick, now we look at item 3, which says that if it was not the candlestick, then not the candlestick, if and only if not Scarlet. So a biconditional is true when the propositions have the same truth value, right? Either that connect them. Either they're both true or they're both false. So for this to be true, for item 3 to be true, it means that not candlestick is false, right? Because it was done with a candlestick. So if not candlestick is false, it also must be false that not Scarlet. Therefore, Scarlet did it. So we say by item 3, Scarlet is guilty. Another explanation is that if we say not P implies not Q, this is equivalent to saying P implies Q. So we can say here that if it was done with a candlestick, then it was Scarlet who did it. Okay, so that was item B. What about item C? So item C, we have that the crime was committed at noon with the revolver, right? So let's see, if it was committed with the revolver, it means that it was not committed with a candlestick. So if candlestick is false, it must be that library is true, right? So we say that by item 4, if it was not with a candlestick, then it was in the library. By 4, it was done. By 4, it was done in the library. And similar to the reasoning of A, so similarly, I guess I should say similar to A, where we use the contrapositive, right? We said, hey, if it was done in the library, then it means that it wasn't done in the kitchen, and if not kitchen, then Plum. So similar to A, Plum is guilty. Guilty. Okay. And now let's do item D, the last one. So for item D, we have that it took place at midnight in the conservatory. So if it took place at midnight, by item 2, it was Plum who did it, because if midnight, then Plum. So by item 2, Plum is guilty. And then we have that it took place in the conservatory. So if it took place in the conservatory, it means that the library, it's false, right? So if the library is false, it means that it was done with a candlestick. So say by the fourth item, the weapon is the candlestick. And we have here that similar to item B, and so similar to B, where we have B, we have that if the weapon is a candlestick, then Scarlet is guilty. We can say here that Scarlet is also guilty. Okay, and so that is it for item 4.